Alright, Shalom. Shalom. This is your brother Issachar coming back at you with another lesson. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect and the 144,000 scattered across the four corners of the earth. Shalom to you. Alright, in today's lesson, we're going to get into being brotherly. Alright, you have to be, you got to be, spiritual in this thing, but at the end of the day, you got to be a brother. So, the time that we're entering, you have to remember that because we're at war. It's good set against evil. So it's just like your normal war out there. When just for instance, like when the U.S. went to go fight Vietnam, stuff like that. You got your soldiers next to you, your buddies. Your commanders in chief. If some people get shot, you can't just bug out and just stop, because then you'll die. You gotta keep going. But you gotta remember that this is a fight, for your soul. It is a fight for salvation, So you have to prepare yourself just as war, not, like buy guns and, like that, but you gotta remember, brothers and sisters are gonna fall short at times. They are gonna have slip-ups. They are gonna have times when the Lord's gonna test them. So you gotta always remember to be a brother at the end of the day. Okay, you gotta be a brother at the end of the day, or a sister. Okay, vice versa. All right. It goes both ways, So you have to remember right away, to, stay strong and firm in the faith. But, don't be so quick just to say, oh, the hell with that brother or the hell with that sister, just because, they're kind of messing up a little bit, or, so you have to remember, judge righteous judgment, see what's going on first, check it out, like do a little investigate a little bit, don't just right away hear about something and say, oh, the hell with that brother, because remember, that brother or sister could be, one of the Lord's elect. So, just, be mindful, be patient, because when, look at us, for example, look at how much we were going off in the world, eating pork and, doing stuff. Did the Lord just say, oh, okay, the hell with that person? The hell with Miguel, the hell with Jose, the hell with Devontae, see? The hell with Jessica right away? No, okay, the Lord was patient. Okay, the Lord is patient, because the Lord is refining his elect. But, you imagine if, you made a mistake and right away the Lord's like, oh, the hell with that person? We would be through out here. We would be finished, because how many of us out there, how many of you guys out there made a mistake and sin? So can you imagine if the Lord did that to us or to you guys out there? You made one mistake and the Lord's like, oh, fuck him. Excuse my Italian. Imagine. So, so imagine, do the same thing with your brother and your sister. You have to, work with them. If they're being a complete demon and you're rebuking them and stuff like that, then, but it takes time, but make sure that you approach every situation the right way. St. Matthew chapter 12, verse 30. He that is not with me is against me, and he that gathereth not with me scattereth abroad. Alright, so right here, you have, you gotta remember, just because, brothers or sisters sometimes get weak in the faith, okay, you have to approach it the right way, and make sure that you're a brother and a sister at the end of the day, because not everybody's gonna be at the same level. There's levels to this thing, so you're gonna have some brothers and sisters that are stronger than others. It's just the way it is, but it's all one body, so it's very important, it's all one body. Okay, so imagine like your body, for instance, yourself. Okay, imagine your body, for instance, and you have imagine you lose a hand, imagine you lose an arm, imagine you lose a leg. You're not going to be the same, because every member of the body is important. I mean, some members of the bodies might be bigger than others, but if you lose that part of the body's not the same. Imagine if you get your foot cut off. Is your body the same? All right, so that's the same thing with the little ones. Imagine if you lose your big toe or your toes. Your body's not the same. Your toes are not as big as your arms and your chest, your back. But it's important, because if you lose your toes, then there goes your balance. Imagine you lose your fingers. How are you gonna grab stuff? You see? All right, so it's just like that. There's some members of the body that are not as big, may not be as strong as the other ones, but they're important. So that's why every member of the elect is important. Okay, that starts off with 144,000, and then the elect, the 1/3, which consists of the men, women, and children. You see, so it's very, very important. Because it's just like that. So that's why especially those two who are just coming into the truth. All right, you gotta be patient with them too, because remember, they don't know that much. So they want to know about the truth. They want to know what's going on, and you got to remember, okay, what's you got to remember how you came into this thing. Okay, when you came into this thing, you didn't know everything. You had questions up the ass, right? Excuse my Italian. Okay, so same thing. Okay, same thing. Because what you gotta realize is that remember, we all had a beginning in this thing too. None of us just came into this thing, just on just knew everything. It all took time. It all takes time. I mean, we're all still learning. You see, so this is because we're in captivity. We want to learn about our heritage, our Lord, the truth. What it is. You see. So this is so you got to remember that too. So once you end this thing, to the brothers and sisters that have been in this thing for a while, you got to remember too. You got new members who are new in this thing, and let's say not only that. Okay, let's say you have, brothers and sisters. Let's say you have brothers and sisters. Let's say you have brothers and sisters that been in this thing for a while. Some brothers that are teachers. That have been in this thing for a while, and they start going off, because it happens. Just remember to, at the end of the day, because, you can say all this, you gotta be patient, use spiritual discernment, but the word that pretty much sums it up is, at the end of the day, just be a brother. If you're, a woman, daughter of Zion, just be a sister, because with that, by being a brother, by being a true sister, all that comes along with it, patience, spiritual discernment, rebuke, talk to them, counsel, see? So, this is why Elder Priest Yaikwab, he said, remember, he goes, all you need is one word, you know? He goes, all you need is one word, because you don't have to say, too much about all this, and you need patience, and because just by being a brother, just by being a true sister, all that comes with it. Patience, talking to them, spiritual discernment, counsel, that all comes along with being a brother and a true sister. See? All right? So that's why Elder Priest Yaakov said, just all you need is one word, because, use that one word, but make that one word count. See? All right? So when people are going off and stuff, just be a brother at the end of the day, be in the spirit, but just be a brother and be a sister, and the Lord's going to work it out in due time, so what being a brother and a sister, all that comes along with it, patience, spiritual discernment. Let's have a council. Let's grab 2 or 3 together. If the brother or sister's not listening, grab 2 or 3 more witnesses, and go from there, because you guys know what to do out there. You see? It's not complicated. It's real simple, son. So, but just remember that, brothers are going to have slip-ups. Brothers and sisters are going to have setbacks. It's just the way it is, like war, People are going to get wounded. People are going to get depressed. People are not going to feel like keep on going forward, because people can lose their family in this thing. Because when you lose when you become into the truth, some of your family look at you sideways like, oh, what the hell? What's going on with this person now? They're not the same no more. You see? All right, so remember that. So all that comes with it, being uncomfortable. Sometimes your friends and family look at you like, hey, this person's not cool no more. Stuff like that, some of them, remember, because some of your family members are going to have your back, but some are not. Just the way it is, So, sometimes people can get down. Sometimes brothers and sisters, they have to lose their boyfriends, their girlfriends. See? So it's something that you have to prepare yourselves for, because that's not easy. How many of you out there lost a husband or a wife or a boyfriend and girlfriend that you liked or loved, It's not easy. So people in this truth, imagine it's just because, you're trying to, you're staying in the faith in this thing, but at the same time, you're fighting your spiritual fight against the demons, against Satan, and then you're also fighting against the world. Literally throwing putazos, throwing blows, maybe, but, because in the world you have problems, you have arguments with your friends, your neighbors, your co-workers, shit happens, okay? Okay, you know how it is out there, shit happens, you make mistakes, hey, you make mistakes, somebody might make a mistake on you, because sometimes people, it gets frustrating out here, because people have to sit in traffic, sometimes they snap because they were hungry, it just happens, let's just sum it up like that, shit happens, so people go through stuff, so remember, people are always not going to be on their A game, so you have to, be wise and spiritual, when brothers and sisters are going through stuff, you guys just have to understand that, because it's not like just, hey, the brother did this or that, and I don't know. No, what you gotta understand is that, brothers, everybody's going through something, So remember that, because they can, be going through financial problems, infirmities, problems with their, their houses or whatever. But one thing I gotta say is, no matter what you're going through out there, for those of you who are going through stuff, when you come to a brother or sister in the faith, you salute them. Do not ignore them. Hey, I don't give a damn what you're talking about. Okay, I don't give a damn what you're going through. So this is the flip side. So those of you that are going through stuff, you might say, yeah, that's me right now. I'm catching hell. I'm going through it. Okay, we all are. But at the same time, that don't give you no right to ignore a brother or sister just because you're catching hell. You know, you make sure that you salute and you say hello to your fellow brother and sister in the faith. You see? All right, because if you're going through stuff and you're not even talking to a brother or sister when they're right there, okay, that's going off, and that's bullshit. All right, you know, let me find out. You know, that's that's showing a lack of integrity, a lack of character. I don't give a damn what you go through. You know, you lose a family member. You say when you see a fellow brother or sister in the faith, okay, that's a piece of Yahweh Shai right there. Okay, you salute the brother. All right, you say hello to the brother or the sister in faith. You know, all right, you know, don't ever get too caught up and the affairs of this life where you think like, oh, I can't even, you know, say hi to you right now because I'm going through it. No, fuck that. Okay, excuse my Italian. That's no excuse. Okay, that's no excuse at all. You know, that's chicken shit. You know, what kind of shit is that? You know, it don't matter what you're going through. You know, you say hello to your brothers and sisters. You know, all right. I don't give a damn what you're going through. You know, see, because we're entering a time where you may never see that brother or sister again, because Esau is gonna start coming down with great wrath, and you may not ever go home again. You may not ever go to your work again. You may not ever see your family again. You may not ever see that brother or sister again. You see? All right. So that's something that, just an FYI for you guys out there, you know, because we're coming to a time where brothers and sisters are about to get persecuted. They're about to be separated from their families, get their children taken from them, all that. Okay? All that's gonna happen. So by you acting stupid like that, you're gonna regret that, because you're like, damn, I should have just said hello to that brother or sister. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, don't be like that. Okay, don't be foolish, because that's being selfish. You know, because you're just thinking, oh, poor me. Remember, compadre. Remember, it's not all about you. You know, because it's one body. All right, because when you and Salakia for me, kind of rambling. But I had to get this off, and then I'll start hitting the scriptures again, But remember, because when you do that too, you're messing up the body, because the brothers and sisters are looking at you like, yo, what's wrong with this person, So you're already kind of, like, by you doing that, you're bringing your brothers and sisters down, Not really, like, like making them go off, like be, like, down, but you're affecting the body, because now it's like, yo, what's going on, Because now we gotta stop to talk and see, okay, well, what's going on with you, See that? So, because not only are you being selfish, but by that action, you're affecting the team. You're affecting the body. See that? So you got remember, because you don't want to bring down your brothers and sisters. So right here, St. Matthew chapter 12, verse 30. He that is not with me is against me, and he that gathereth not with me scattereth abroad. Right, because when you're like, let's say, remember, there's different parts of the body, right? So the thing is, are you in or are you out? You see? So that's what you gotta realize, are you in or are you out? Okay? Because it's just like that, you may say, oh, well, this person believes, but, she's going through stuff, or him or her is going through stuff, they don't know that much precepts. That's fine, because there's different levels to the thing. The question is, are you in or out? You know, it's kind of like when you want to go into like a battle or a fight. You know, and you say, hey man, can this what's going on with this dude? You know, oh well, he can throw a left jab. You know, this person's strong. He can tackle somebody. It's like, hey, forget all the small talk. Can the nigga fight? You know, see that? Because when you want somebody to go to war with you, like let's say like you're about to get jumped, you know, and you're like, hey man, let's grab some friends, you know, because I'm about to get jumped. You know, we have to fight these people. You know, who cares about the small talk? Like, hey, what's up with this person? Oh yeah, well this person he can throw a good jab. This person he can body slam. Fuck all the small talk. The thing is, can the nigga fight? You know, is that person that you're gonna take with you to fight? Is he down? Is he down? You know, is he down for the cause? You know, is he or she down to ride or die? Are they there with you? You know, that's the thing. Are they in or are they out? Forget all. Oh, well, is he good or you know this or that? The thing is, can the nigga fight? See, so that's how it is when it comes down to the Lord. Are you in? Or are you out? You know, see, so that sums it all up. You know, and not just, oh, hey, well, this brother knows that much precepts, and well, I don't know, you know, he's not as good as this person. Nah, you know, forget all that jazz. It's are you in or are you out? Okay, of course there's different levels to this thing, but we're all one body. You see? Huh? So now let's go to get one precept here. First John chapter 2 verse 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. See? If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. Right. So don't be too caught up with the affairs of this life. You know, if you got some stuff that's bringing you down, if you got some stuff that's if you got some things that are in the way, you can't be too much entangled with this world, because once you start getting too busy, or if you start worrying too much about the affairs of this world, then that's what happens, because you're kind of getting away from the spirit, because you're just kind of more worried about things of this world, you know. See, so if there comes a time where you can't pay for something, and it's getting in the way of you serving the Lord, then cut it off. Go move with your family, or make the adjustments, do something, If you have a car payment, get rid of that car, get rid of it, sell it, go buy a car cash or something, whatever, go buy a little used car or something, So you got to make sure that you're not too busy, and because when you start caring for the affairs of this world so much that you're not even serving the Lord, you're not being brotherly or sisterly, that's not good, because you're throwing away your salvation. See? All right, you're putting down your shield. That's what you're doing. Okay? It's kind of like, you're paying attention to like a bug. Like, let's say you're out there on the battlefield, and you don't even have your shield up, because you're looking at a ladybug. You're looking at a ladybug on the floor. Okay, if you keep on looking at that ladybug on the floor, okay, you're not going to pay attention to the enemy. You're not going to have your shield up, because you're too wrapped up looking at that ladybug. See? See, and there's nothing wrong with looking at the ladybug. You want to look around. But the thing is that if you're too focused on that ladybug, you're not going to pay attention to your surroundings. You're not going to pay attention to the fight. See? So now you're not being a soldier no more, because you're just focusing on that ladybug. You're just tripping out, like, damn, look at this ladybug. Trip out, See? You can look, a little bit, but you're not, when you're focused, imagine this, you guys. All right. Imagine like, yeah, you got soldiers out there, like, man, like the movie Troy, like that, like the war of the ancient world. Okay, if you're focused too much, like imagine like, like on the battlefield. Remember that movie Troy with Achilles and all them? Remember that? Okay, so when you're like that face to face with your enemy, okay, you have to, you got to remember to, you know, you have to stay focused out there, because you have to protect the brother and sister that's next to you. Okay, you have to, you have to be alert. You got to be focused on, you got to be focused on, what's happening, in front of you. You gotta pay attention to the other soldiers across from you, your enemies. You gotta be paying attention to your fellow soldiers, okay, your friends. All right, you have to make sure that he or she's on point. You know what I'm saying? So this is why you can't get too distracted. See, because if you're focused on other things, too much, then you're not going to really be paying attention to the fight. You see? All right, so this is what you have to understand, because you're not paying attention to the fight. You see? So this is why you have to stay focused in this thing, because if you're not paying attention to your your fellow soldiers, what if you have a soldier next to you and he has like a spot open? You're like, hey man, lift your shield up. Your shield is too low. You see? All right, so not only do you want to have your shield up, but you want to pay attention to your brothers and sisters. So when you're too focused, remember, for instance, like if you're in war on the battlefield, and like remember like that movie Troy, for instance, if you're out there, and if you're out there and if you're out there and you don't and you're not focusing on the war, if you're looking at that ladybug out there on the battlefield, it's no good. So this is why you have to be ready, because if you're looking at that ladybug, you're not going to pay attention to what's in front of you. So you can't be too wrapped up with the affairs of this world. Yes, of course, pay your rent, take care of your family, pay your car note if you got it, whatever you got, take care of your priorities, yes. But at the same time, don't let that affect your walk, okay? Because it's all about, your walk. So don't let that affect your walk. Don't let that affect, your salvation. Don't matter what you're going through. See? So this is why you have to constantly, there we go. Right here. This is the scripture right here. Okay, 2 Corinthians chapter 13 verse 5. Examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith perfect. See, so you gotta take a step back, player. You gotta check it out. Like, damn, I'm messing up because I'm so worried about this and that. I'm not even being a brother. I'm not being a sister. I'm not even doing my videos. See, and plus, number one, I'm not being on point with the Lord. That's number uno. Okay, that's number one. So you always want to be, you know, on point with the Lord. Okay, no matter what you're going through, you always want to be on point with the Lord. All right, you never want to be, you know, you never want to be so busy that you're like, man, uh, you know, that you're so busy that you don't know, you know, that you're not even paying attention to your salvation and yourself, your relationship with the Lord, because you're like, oh, well, I'm just so busy, F it. That's the wrong spirit to be in. So you don't want to be too busy where you start doing that, all right. 2 Corinthians chapter 13 verse 5, examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith, prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves, how that Yahushua Hamashiach is in you, except ye be reprobates. See that? You don't want that. Shoot, I don't want that. So you don't want to be a reprobate for nothing, So, what you gotta realize is, you don't want to, you don't want to be in that spirit. So you gotta check yourself, you gotta check yourself before you wreck yourself. Okay, right here, 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 4 to the 6th verse. No man that warreth entangle himself with the affairs of this life. See that? So no man that warreth entangle himself with the affairs of this life. Right. See? That he may please him who had chosen him to be a soldier. There it is. See that? Because you're not being a soldier no more. Because you're so entangled. You're like in cobwebs, a spider web, because you're so entangled with the affairs of this world that you're not even focusing on the battle no more. It's like that soldier in the battlefield, like the time of the movie Troy, like that, like the ancient war. Like you're not even looking at your soldier next to you, your friend, and you're not even looking at the soldiers in front of you coming to you with a sword and a spear. You're looking at the ladybug at the floor. See? So you're not paying attention. So what's the point? The point is you're not paying attention to the fight. You're not being a soldier no more. You're not on point. See? Because you're too wrapped up in this and that. Oh, well, I gotta do that. Oh, I got my kids' basketball practice. I got this. Oh, damn, my wife wants to go eat. Oh, shit, I gotta do that. Damn, I'll rent. Fuck, the water bill. Damn, this, all that. See? So you're so much in that you lose focus on the main thing, which is salvation, being on point with the Lord. See what I'm saying? So that is, this is why this scripture is perfect. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 4 and 6. No man that warreth entangle himself with the affairs of this life. Right. See, because you're entangled. You're like in a trap. You're like in a cobweb. You're like, shit, because you're not going nowhere. And you're not doing nothing that's good for the Lord. Because first and foremost, you want to please the Lord. First and foremost. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what you're talking about. You want to please the Lord first. So, this is why you have to... you gotta check yourself, because if you're entangled, because you're not being in the spirit no more, because you're too wrapped up of the affairs, the things, the cares of this life. Right there. Okay, let's use that word right there. The wadi halbashi shai. you're too busy, you're too wrapped up of the cares of this life. Okay, which is, I mean, remember, there's nothing wrong with being a good parent, you know, having paying your bills, you know, doing this, doing that. But if you're too much caught up in it, then you're not even focusing on the main thing, especially if you're if you're a teacher of the Lord, especially because you're a frontline soldier for the Lord. And that's where, let's keep reading, check it out. No man that warreth entangle himself with the affairs of this world, of this life. The affairs meaning like the cares of this life. Okay, the things in this world. That he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier. There it is. Because the Lord chose you to be a soldier for him. See? So if you're too busy about that, the Lord, he'll take that from you. Okay, remember, the Lord's a jealous power. You know, there's only so much he's gonna put up with. You know, he's gonna talk to you, you know. But if you don't cut that off or make the adjustments, he'll take that from you. See? Verse 5. And if a man also strive for masteries, yet is he not crowned, except he strive lawfully. The husbandman that laboreth must be first partaker of the fruits. So yeah, just remember that, you gotta be, steadfast in this thing, unmovable. Okay, you have to be ready in this thing. You can't just whatever, about things. You gotta make sure that you are you gotta make sure that you're ready. You have to make sure that you're ready. You can't just be all in the world and then not say hello to brothers and sisters and expect the Lord to take care of you. All right, but that's okay. I mean, if that happens, it happens to all of us. When sometimes you're so busy, you forget that. You even forget the Sabbath because you're like, shit, I'm so busy with this. I'm doing that. I'm doing this. See? Because it happens. We're in Babylon. There's distractions everywhere. You can be a busybody. So that's why just examine yourself, take a step back. And it's all right. It ain't the end of the world. It's just that, it's just info for you. Food for thought for you to make the adjustments. Take a breather, take a step back, check yourself out. Like damn, am I fucking up? Am I messing up? So don't just be. That's that pride demon. Cause you think, oh, I'm alright, this and that, and this and that. Whoa. That's something you gotta understand.